Hello everyone, and welcome back to our weekly series of Is the Shrine Worth It? The series where we have a look at the perks in the Shrine of Secrets and see if they're really worth your 2,000 iridescent shards each. Today, unfortunately, we have an incredibly underwhelming shrine as the first one since the event. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10, it is absolutely abysmal. We have perks from the Dark Lord, Ace, Jake, and Wraith. Those perks are Human Greed, Open-Handed, Saboteur, and Shadowborn. Let's get into the survivor perks first. Our first survivor perk is Open-Handed. Strengthens the potential of you and your teammates' aura reading abilities. It increases aura reading ranges by 16 meters, and survivors may only be affected by one open-handed effect at once. This is what it looks like in game. I'm going to give Open-Handed a 4 out of 10 in terms of its strength. There are not many situations where 16 meters of extra range is going to do much to your aura reading or anything to your game really. In the clip where we showed off what Open-Handed did, we ran Bond so that we could show you how far an extra 16 meters really was when you're just sitting there doing a gen. And it is quite far, but it doesn't actually really do anything for you. The information that you need is when things are closer than whatever the open-handed range is going to extend it to. So I personally wouldn't run this in many builds, unless you are just doing some kind of specific aura reading build. Whether you like the perk or not, or whether you find it strong or not, it is from Ace. Ace is not a licensed character, and he's actually one of the oldest characters to be put into the game. It is literally cheaper if you go and pick Ace up as a full character, level him up through the blood web and get all 3 of his perks that way. Stay away from this perk in the shrine. Our next survivor perk is Saboteur. Unlocks potential on one's aura reading ability. See hook auras within 56 meters radius from the pickup spot if another survivor is being carried. Scourge hooks are shown in yellow. Unlocks the ability to sabotage hooks without a toolbox. Sabotaging a hook without a toolbox takes 2.3 seconds. The sabotage action has a 60-second cooldown. This is what it looks like in game. I'm going to give Saboteur a 5 out of 10. I think it's a pretty okay perk, but it's not really strong by any means. I think that Saboteur was a perk created in a completely different era of the game. An era where bringing a toolbox, a flashlight, or a medkit was a very important decision. But nowadays, Saboteur can just literally be replaced by a toolbox and you can get a much stronger perk in instead. Personally, I wouldn't run this in any builds unless I was specifically trying to get some kind of mission done where I had to use Saboteur for an achievement. On top of that, Jake is part of the base game and it's really disappointing that Behaviour have put a perk of his in the shrine. So don't pick it up in the shrine, literally just level Jake up, it's literally completely free. Let's move on to the killer perks. Our first killer perk is Shadowborn. When blinded by any means, gain 10% haste for 10 seconds. Haste increases killer movement speed. This is what it looks like in game. I'm going to give Shadowborn a 2 out of 10. It is absolutely wild that Behaviour has not reworked this perk yet, and to think that in any way you would want to get blinded for 10% haste for 10 seconds, that just doesn't really work, because you're blinded for basically 1.5 to 2 seconds of that time. That's assuming that the survivors are not running any perks that increases that blind as well. So you're using so much of that haste when you can't actually even see in front of you. This is actually just such a terrible perk. On top of it being a terrible perk, it's from Wraith, and Wraith is literally part of the base game. Do not go near this in the shrine, it's an absolute waste of your shards. Hang on to them. Our fourth and final perk is Human Greed. You see the auras of unopened chests and survivors' auras are revealed for 5 seconds when they are within 8 meters of range. You also gain the ability to kick chests to close them. This ability has a 10-second cooldown. This is what it looks like in game. I'm going to give Human Greed a 5 out of 10. I'm not sure if this is actually a good perk or not, but in the clip that we ran, I put coins on all of the survivors, which means we had the maximum amount of chests in the game. If this happens to you, this perk is a 10 out of 10 and unbelievable, but if it doesn't, it's kind of not very good. A lot of people don't open chests nowadays because it is a complete waste of time. We are, however, about to get a survivor that is going to bring a chest-related perk into the game, so this may be pretty good then. But for now, I would say it's pretty unbelievably average. The meta at the moment is very hard on gen regression and aura reading. This gives you somewhat aura reading, but it gives you literally no gen regression whatsoever, no gen anything. So I really would stay away from putting this in a build. Unfortunately for us, this is the only perk that Behaviour have given us that is licensed this week, so it's the only one that I would say is actually worth picking up in the shrine with your shards, because the only other way you're going to get it is if you spend real money on this guy. I personally wouldn't run this in any builds, and I can't see how I could run it in any builds even if it got buffed, so this one's kind of at your own discretion. If you don't have many shards, stay away from it. If you have shards to spare, I'd say it's probably worth picking up. So to recap this week, we want to stay away from Open-Handed, Saboteur and Shadowborn because they're all so incredibly cheap or free, so stay away from them in the shrine. The only one that we would kind of consider is Human Greed, but even that, honestly, you could stay away from it and you're not going to miss out on anything. Thank you for watching this week's video, and I hope you have a wonderful week playing the game. The anniversary is almost over, so make sure you get some of those cakes in. See you tomorrow, next week. I'm so used to doing daily videos at this point. See you then, bye.